I agree we can support Anwar, give Anwar whatever it is, even though we are rather disappointed with the reforms that's not happening. Certain reforms happen, certain reforms not happening. But lest we forget, Anwar is PM for all Malaysians, not just the non-Malays, not just the liberal Malays, but also the contemporary Malays, also the hardcore hardliner Malays. He's PM for all. And every one of us, rakyat Malaysia, including Sabah, Sarawak, semua, we are stakeholders, and we also hold votes, and we also collectively decide who becomes the government. What we each aspire and what we think is right for the country may not be the same. You may think different, I may think slightly different, or lain different. We want different things. So therefore, but the PM, whatever reforms can only go one way, this way or that way. So we need to come to grasp with the fact that certain reforms, whatever reforms of any government, not just Anwar Ibrahim or any Madani government, any government nak reform apa pun, whatever that reform must be conforming and with the leave and consent of the majority of the voters. If whatever reform is done is against the majority sentiments of the voters, then those voters will not prefer the government doing that reform, and without that consent, the government will fall out of power in no time. So therefore, what we each deem as ideal may not be ideal to the other stakeholders. And therefore, whatever the PM or this government does will be semi-ideal to almost all of us. And we need to decide now what is the best scenario we can go for and we can opt for. So what am I trying to say? What's the underscoring point here? To not raise your hopes high, come to terms with the fact that certain reforms cannot happen, will not happen, and must not happen. Cannot happen. Not in this generation or the next generation. Maybe 2 more generations, maybe barulah nak kena reform boleh jadi. It is when the composition of kita punya rakyat, whether Malay ke, non-Malays ke, apa ke, majority wants those kind of reforms that we tengok this government tak buat lagi. For now, as long as the majority do not want those kind of reforms, example, removal of the bumi quota for the students, kalau the majority don't want that, if this government or any government even usik or touch or even talk about it, that government loses all election, as Anwar Ibrahim says. And therefore, when that happens, a new government comes up, and that new government comes because the people want the other government that will reform the other way, not the way that we want. And therefore, the outcome will be negative. Bukan saya kita tak dapat reform yang kita nak, dia reform the opposite way of what we want it. So your last line, while it's catchy and nice, my comment to that is just this. You kata, kalau after we let them win big, and if they don't reform the way we want to, then we teach them a lesson. Okay, I want to continue your sentence. If the government do the opposite, they reform the way you want them to, but not the way the majority wants, that too will result in them being taught a lesson. And so will all of us. We will all be taught a lesson. So therefore, certain reforms, whether they win big or they don't win big, if this government wants to remain as government, they better not touch those, and they better not reform those that certain quarters want. Certain kind of reforms should never occur and must not occur, because it is political suicide, because it is suicide when majority of the voters do not want certain kind of changes. This is the only, I hope this is added value to your video. You don't have to incorporate this in your video or whatever you say. This is meant for your listening, and you may disagree with me if you like. I'm fine. You are still my friend if you disagree. You are my friend also if you agree. I hope my job is just to make it clear and make you understand my perspective. Take care, brother.